couple of weeks ago I did a review of this Cimarron Model P old model. In that video I expressed my disapproval of the standard Uberti rose-colored hard polyurethane slick, and I vowed to do something about it. Well, I've done something about it, and I want to take a little bit of time here to show you kind of the process I went from this to this. But before we get started, I'd like to thank a fellow cowboy action shooter with the alias of Smokey Dave. He saw what I was trying to do and stepped up with information that he'd posted on a black powder forum that has a lot of links and detail to how he cast the grips, and he followed up along with me as advisor on what I was doing. I had to make some substitutions because of availability of materials in my area, and I did things a little bit twisted, and some of them may be improvement and some of them was not so good. One little innovation I made, instead of splitting the one-piece grips in two like Smokey did, I used some pieces of hardwood block and used my profiler here to duplicate the inside block between the two, and that way I could make a mold on each side, thus saving the original grip in the original configuration. Here's the first pour of the silicone mold using the amazing kit. I didn't get the kit that Smokey used because it wasn't available. This turned out to be a little bit of a problem because it took at least 8 hours for it to set up, and left it really 24 hours before I pulled it off. So it delayed the project quite a bit because I had to pour one mold and then turn it over and pour the other mold. Do you see something wrong in this picture? I stupid it up and molded two right side grip panels and not a left and a right. While I was waiting for the third left panel to get set up, I decided to make some medallions out of 3840 Starline brass. What you can't see here is I've used a decapping pin through the case so that I have something to clamp onto in the case. And I just used a file, keep grinding down the brass until it broke loose. Here I found a drill bit that just fit into the primer pocket, so I'd have something to kind of hold on to whenever I took a file and got rid of that flange. Took a live primer and pried out the anvil and scraped out all the inside priming material and carefully pushed it into place. Made two of them. Here's my attempt at being artistic and wanting to add a steer head to the right side grip. I just used plain modeling clay. It turned out it was a little bit of a problem because the dye and the clay seeped out into the rosin once it was poured. I made a few false starts on it, and I got my proportions wrong on the first time and had to start over. It doesn't, look perfectly good, but it turned out all right. You can see there here they're setting in the mold. The black line is to orient them so that I can get them in the right place so that you can read the 3840. I put a little bit of that modeling clay on the face side of the medallions to keep the material from blowing over into it. It's a little difficult maybe to tell what I'm doing here, but what I did was use one of the little measuring cups, filled it with water, and then filled up the mold so that I could tell how much volume it would take to cast it. Here's my pour. I made a little bit of a mistake and got the right one a little bit shallow and the left one a little bit too full. Next time I'll be perfect. Here's right out of the casting. You can see little spots of the blue here and there. Most of it scraped off. The left panel turned out considerably better. With them still soft, I used about 150 grit sandpaper to knock down the rough edges and fit each panel. Again, I used my patterning tool to cut out a piece for a wedge in between the two panels to make a one-piece grip. Here I'm essentially gluing in the middle facer to the left side panel using Brownell's Acrylic glass. Here's the final product, the left and right view. I think they turned out really nice. There's a little place here and there, but if I do them over, I'll do them right.